Save this for another parenting video. Sure. There, I markered it. Noxxi, I'll put it in your inbox in 4 to 6 weeks. Oh my gosh. Okay, saying your name reminded me of what happened today. All right, chat. Let me tell y'all a story of parenthood. Okay? Yesterday, first of all, for any of you who haven't been here in a while or never before, it is currently safe in my area in the real world. I want to make sure that that's clear. So my kid, for the first time in many, many, many months, went back to school in person yesterday. Now his bus stop is like 1 block away. Within a neighborhood, okay? So he just walks up a sidewalk like 10 to 15 houses in lengths to get home. That's it, all right? He's 9, that's as far as he has to walk. So wife takes him to the bus stop. I'm still asleep in the morning because I stay up late streaming. Wife takes him to the bus stop in the morning, says, bus will be here in like 2 minutes, I gotta go to work. And he puts him, drops him off with all the other kids. He gets on the bus. And then the next day, he walks home. We made sure he already knew the route. It was literally, there's our house. It was super simple. So he gets home yesterday and he's like, oh, I'm so tired. And I'm like, what, from having to walk that short distance? And he's like, it was so long. And I'm thinking he's being a kid, he's milking it. And I was like, I mean, it's uphill a little bit. And my wife's just like, oh, you need the exercise. You've been cooped up too long. And he's like, all right, so that's yesterday. Fast forward to today. Today, it's drizzling. And it looks like it might full-blown rain really hard. So I get an umbrella and I walk down to the bus stop to pick him up and walk home with him so he doesn't have to walk in the rain. I'm trying to be a good person here. I get to the bus stop, bus arrives, drops a bunch of kids off, the doors of the bus close and there's no Gabriel. The bus starts to pull away and I'm like freaking out, like, what do I do? And I kind of, not like, I didn't run in front of the bus, but I kind of like ran forward to get in eye shot of the driver. And I'm waving my arms and I'm like, hello, hey, wait. And he hits the brakes and he had already pulled back out into the street. And there was a bunch of cars that were stopped and they slammed on their brakes so they didn't go into the back of the bus because they were starting to accelerate. And I was like, I'm sorry, my son was supposed to be on the bus and he's not here. And he's like, what was his name? And I was like, it's Gabriel. And he turns around, he's like, Gabriel, are you here? No response. He's like, what's the last name? I was like, and I almost just said my last name on the internet. I tell him. He yells the last name. And he's like, did he have a SpongeBob mask on? I guess some kid in the back had a SpongeBob mask on. I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, what was he wearing? I was like, I don't know. My wife sent him to school. He's like, what does he look like? And I'm like, me. And I was like, look, can I step onto the bus and look back? And he's like, you're not allowed on the bus. And I was like, okay. And then some little girl in the back of the bus goes, oh, he got off like 2 stops ago.
I have several questions.
Where's your other stops? And he's like, all right, so you're gonna wanna go back there and you're gonna wanna go this way, but on this side. And I'm like, I don't know what you just said. He literally told me you're gonna wanna go this way, but on this side. And I was just like, stop there, you freaking lost me. And right then I see a kid with like the jacket, super bundled up, waddling up the hill. And I was like, there's a kid. I don't even know if that's him because he was so bundled up and my son has so many coats and stuff. And he's like, I'll wait until he gets up the hill here. And I was like, yeah, please do. And so he gets closer and I'm like, Gabe? And dude, because of the pandemic, he's got a mask, he's got the thing on, and I was like, Gabe? And he's like, and just keeps walking. And I was like, are you Gabe? And he's like, and I'm like, take off your mask. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, I hope this kid is Gabe because I'm screaming at a child and I'm not sure if it's mine. I'm screaming at a child, take off your mask, and I'm not 100% that it's my kid. And he takes the mask off, and it's him. And it's freaking cold out, so his face all red. I'm like, that's my kid. And the bus driver is like, all right. And he's like, Gabriel. He's like, this is your stop. You get off here. He's like, you're at the 3rd stop. And he's like, I got off when you let the kids off. And I'm like, Gabe, there's more than one stop. Like, there's a stop, some kids get off. I was like, wait a minute, is this why you were so tired yesterday? Did you walk a mile to get home yesterday? He's like, when he stopped and kids got off, I got off. And I'm like, where did you get off the bus? And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, how far did you walk to get home yesterday? I thought you were I thought you were just whining. And he's like, oh, I'm so tired getting home. And I'm like, where? I'm like, okay. Right here, where we're standing right now. The bus will bring you right here. The same spot you got on the bus this morning. This is where you get off the bus. He's like, okay. Oh, today at school, I'm like, no, we're not done. Like, I'm not done panicking and yelling at you. I'm like, do not change the topic. Oh my God, chat. It was so, the stress levels were the highest they have been in a very long time. Dude, I was like finding Nemo out there. In like the bus doors closed, and I went from like cold and waiting on my kid to have you seen my son? And like screaming at people and possibly a random child. Yeah, I went full Finding Nemo in the neighborhood. I didn't know what was going on. And then I go home and I tell the whole story to my wife, and then she and I both just like just at him all over again. Yeah, but yeah, so that was my mid-afternoon treat. That was my mid-afternoon treat. Crazy dad, dude. I was like immediately, cause he wasn't on the bus. I was like, did he even get on the bus? Is he still at the school? Did he make it to school? What time today was he kidnapped? You know, I'm trying to figure out at what point was he lost to the system.